What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday night. What is going on? What do we have in the house here? DMC 357's in the house. Brandon Moore, Aiden Davila, or Davia. My apologies if I get that wrong. Kristen Carter, hello, hello. Joey and Nelly in the house. Sports Time Machine, what is good? Robert Johnson, Cheesemaker, I love it. Who else is here? Who else we got here? We're still a couple minutes early, so I appreciate you guys coming on. A few minutes early. Fritz is in the house. Kyle, Michael Miles, what is good? And we'll get to this stuff too. We'll definitely get to this stuff. You Elvis, Aaron Blum, Maz is in the house. Lori C, hello, Lori C. Daniel 1929, Aaron Blum, Evan Kastner's here. Matt G, Will Maddox, Dominic, G-Man, Sam, Franchise J is in the house. Now it's a party, baby. Dominic, Jason Robbins, Anthony 527. What's going on, everybody? Rob Ayers. Lorenzo's in the house. Squingili, what is happening, gang? What is happening? So what are we talking about here? We're talking about, obviously, if you probably haven't heard, I mean, Cashman admitted today they're going to be making an offer to Aaron Judge before the start of the season, which I think is April 7th. So what do you guys think the offer will be? What do you think it should be? I think it's going to be probably 7 years. To me, that's a sweet spot. I think the Yankees are probably not comfortable offering more than 6, and I think Judge's camp is probably going to want 8. So I think the sweet spot in the middle is probably going to be 7. And I personally would not lowball him because number one is your franchise guy. Will be a public relations nightmare if they do. But if they give him a good offer and he still rejects it, then I move on. I trade him. But that's me. That's me. I also think, as well as a lot of you folks do, that they need more pitching, obviously. So you just see it with the guys that that they have right now. There's a greater need for pitching than there is for anything else. So I'm hoping that they do. I hope Luis Hill turns, keeps developing. I hope Nestor Cortez keeps developing, right? And Clark Schmidt, I'm hearing good things about. I've seen him and Baby Garcia look better. Their makeup and their confidence is good, and their stuff is good. But at the same time, I'm not banking on these guys because they haven't been able to stay productive or healthy. So, I'm really hoping that at least one of them pans out. At the very least, a bullpen guy. Schmidt has a nastier pitch arsenal than Davey does, but we'll see. We'll see. Greg Bird too. Did you see that? Greg Bird, he of the infamous Yankee home run off of Andrew Miller in the playoffs, is back with Toronto. He had that 2-run bomb today, and he's still got it. Rick Fulmer's in the house. Frank Rivera, Kyle, Brian, you Elvis, what is good? 180 for 6. If you can get him for 180 for 6, man, I would be happy. My gut's telling me that at the floor he's not going to get anything less than $200 million, but I could be wrong there. I could be wrong. So we'll see. 7 for 275, 245. Mazza, we talked about this. You're absolutely right, man. I agree 100%. We need a number 2 starter. There's no doubt about it. Let's no doubt about it. Can't say it's all good. Daily Dose, buddy. If there is some news, I will be either breaking it on the live or, putting out a video afterward. One way or another, you'll get it. 6 years, 350 per. Oh my heavens. Laurie's got 7 years at 260. That's a lot of money too, man. But that might happen. I mean, it really might happen. So, 35 a year is 245 for 7 years. So yeah, you're looking at like 37.14 or something like that for 7 years, 260. So 6 with a 7-year option, that would be nice. But yeah, he's gonna get paid one way or another. He's gonna get that bag. So Tam Hill, 7 for 250, 245 for 7. 245 for 7 seems to be a pretty popular number. 35 million per. I think it'll be between 30 and 35 million per season, but we'll see. Giancarlos, what is good? Who would I trade him for? If the only way I trade him, and I said this before, is if he rejects a strong extension offer. If he rejects a low ball offer, then who wouldn't reject a low ball pitiful offer? So if I were him, I would reject a low ball. If he rejects a strong offer, then you could send him to a couple teams. I mean, I think Seattle would go after him, San Diego, the Dodgers, a lot of West Coast teams, and he's from the West Coast, and those 3 have farms and players and prospect capital to get him and the ability to pay him as well. So those are pretty much I think the three major teams that would probably be in contention for Judge if they decide to put him on the market. So Mark Watson's in the house. What's good, man? What is happening? So that's my guess. I do hope Cashman comes out with something. Yeah, I mean, Mark, it's got to be like exactly. You can't insult the franchise player. I think the minimum has to be personally 7 years, 210. I think, or again 6 years, 180 with a 7th-year option or something like that. I think it's got to be 30 plus to keep him because I do think there are other teams out here that would pay 8 years, 9 years, something like that at 30 plus. I do think there are teams, so it's up to him to decide what he thinks is a low ball, what he thinks is a fair offer, or his camp, and and see if they can get this thing done. He already said he wants it done before the season starts. So, and if they don't, honestly, like they lose all leverage. You could trade him at the deadline if a team's desperate enough to overpay for him, but you're going to get less at the deadline than you would here if you trade him. So, and then in the offseason, if he walks, you get absolutely nothing. There's no more qualifying offer, so you get nothing. So Schmidt's got good makeup. I like Luis Hill. If they both pan out, fantastic. I mean, again, with the Yankees, you can never have enough pitching depth, right? And I've said this a long time too. They have more than any other team. The Yankees suffer pitching injuries. It's crazy the amount of injuries the Yankees pitching, the starting rotation, the bullpen. It's insane how many injuries they suffer, but it's unfortunate. Udall's in the house. G-Man. Will Maddox. Judge or bust? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Sam Young, man, he does deserve a. I know. I totally understand what you mean. There's a lot of folks thinking he deserves a blank check. I totally get that. Personally, if he was like 25 or 26 years old, blank check city. Udall's in the house, baby. Shamir's in the house. That's the Master Jason. Bow to you, Shamir. Yeah. Birdman. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate he couldn't stay healthy. Like we have like a first base jinx too. Bird couldn't stay healthy. Voit couldn't really stay healthy. It's like, what is going on here? It's crazy. It's nuts. Hopefully Rizzo stays healthy these next 2 years, man. I really do. Albert Pujols has not signed anywhere yet, Nick P. Man, Bird is young, Lori. That's right. He's 29. He still has, perhaps some upside. He just has to stay healthy. But you're absolutely right. He's young still. He's on the right side of 30 right now. No. I hope not our rotation outperformed last season and comes down to earth right now. Otherwise, we would have a far bigger problem than just getting a number 2 than a 3 seed. Yeah, Fritz, exactly. I mean, I've said it too. Like, I think they need to bring in 2 starting pitchers, but at this point, I don't think they're going to bring in 2. I think they bring in 1, and that 1 has got to be a legitimate number 2 or a frontline guy, just a dependable pitcher who can throw innings, right? Who can stay in the game on a regular basis, at least throw 5 or 6 innings on a regular, and like put them in a position to be competitive for a win. Like, we don't really need. There's not many, Garrett Coles or just the guys like Max Scherzer's out there. So, yeah, I saw that Joey Nelly cloned Jason Rosario off waivers. They assigned him to the AA. Yeah, I mean that's a minor league, just a minor depth piece right now. So if anything happens, that'd be cool. But Cashman has the opportunity right now to make a move. So what type of move? It really depends. He's got trade partners with Oakland. He's got trade partners with Arizona. He's got trade partners with the Chicago Cubs now. And I would still be looking at the Marlins. I really would. The Marlins actually, they keep trying to trade for Brian Reynolds from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the other day, Pirates asked for Max Meyer and one of their top position players. But they're starting with those 2, more guys as well. But their request is a haul, an absolute ransom. So, and but who knows? That might happen. They need offense. Pirates need prospects and pitching, so they can make that work. Torres has a good spring. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be Dominic Davis, man. Much love to you, bro. I think if he can come across and hit just 15, 20 home runs, hit lots of singles and doubles, and play decent defense wherever he is, I think that'd be a good thing for him. And not try for 35 or 40 home runs. That seems to be a better, more productive season for Gleyber Torres. I really do. So Rocking the Judge jersey. That's right, franchise. I'm rocking the Savages t-shirt here, man. The Aaron Boone Savages comment. Cole got 36 a year. Kareem making 35 plus. The Judge is probably going to go on at least. Maybe. I mean, I think he'll get between 30 and 35, and he'll be older than both of them when he signed that contract. So if he wants a higher salary, he's going to take less years, I think. But you could be spot on, Aaron. But we don't know. Like Cashman doesn't know. They never leak anything. The Judge camp isn't leaking anything. But they're doing it right by kind of talking about it every day. It's kind of putting pressure on the Yankees to get this thing done. So it's a smart move on his part, on his camp. But yeah, a starter would be fantastic here, man. Again, we've had so many issues, and even last year, Nestor Cortez, he was really great the first half, but he ran out of gas. So I still need to build up his endurance. Luis Hill still need to build him up as well, right? And give these guys a chance to get into the rotation, but not put so much pressure on them. To me, Cole and Montgomery are the two right now dependable full season starters. Tyon, I don't know. This is his last year before free agency, so he might not be back. So we really don't know. We really don't know. But I think it'd be a wise idea to bring in a number 2. And Laurie C. the Jays look. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Beautiful. Kiner Falefa. And he had a home run in the 9th inning today. He had a nice shot too. I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be enough at bats for him on the team. That's the problem. So, do I think there's a trade to be made with Oakland? I do, but it would be wise to maybe just. My guess is at the end of the day, if you can get Sean Manaea and one of those prospect catchers, instead of Sean Murphy, that's probably the more realistic and more gettable package at this point. I don't think Montez, if you move, is going to cost a haul. So, and I don't know if Cashman's appetite to pay that much right now is that high. He generally doesn't like to pay ransoms for trades, but Montez will cost a pretty penny. Montez and Sean Murphy will cost a double pretty penny. So I think Manaea is obviously more gettable than Montez. So, but he would fit the bill for the number 2. So, do I think the Yankees break camp? I think Ender Inciarte and Marwin Gonzalez have a really good chance at making the team, both of them, and be solid roster players. Solid. Ender Inciarte can be the 4th outfielder because Florial's been struggling, and he's also a lot younger than Brett Gardner too. And Marwin Gonzalez is he's playing well, and again he plays multiple positions too. So it gives them, both of those guys give them versatility, and they have playoff experience. They're good, solid players, defenders. So good, solid role players and solid contact hitters. So yeah, I think he'll be fine, and I think both of them have a really good chance of making the team. Tyler's in the house. What's happening, buddy? All right. Volpe's a non-starter. Yeah, I don't have any. I don't think they have any desire to move Volpe either. Jose Peraza, I think, has opened up some eyes too, Joey Nelly. He has maybe a shot. LaCastro to be the 4th. Yeah, I mean, he would be nice too, Grenadier. I mean, he really would. He's lightning fast. I just need to see him perform, get some opportunities here. I mean, Inciarte is right now. I think he probably has the edge, but we'll see. We'll see. They have 2 more weeks to kind of come through here and state their case. So, Volpe and Peraza, you can trade one. You keep the other. You have 2 other shortstops. Well, Peraza would be the guy that I would move, but you'd have to get a Montez in return, in my opinion. Obviously, him and other guys to get Montez. They have not brought back Gardner yet, Jason Lund. No, they have not. No, it's not. Nothing's official yet. Nick P, he could be good. I mean, Manny Rondon's in the house. What's happening, man? I think if they trade Torres, it's got to be for as part of a package for a frontline pitcher. You can't trade him for nothing. You got to get good value back for him. And to me, a frontline pitcher is the value to bring back. So, both pros and yeah, I know it is, Sean. It is confusing. So, I think Inciarte should be ahead of Gardner, and LaCastro should be ahead of Gardner. But who knows what these guys are going to do? It would be frustrating if they did and let those other guys kind of go by the wayside. That would be very frustrating. Castillo right now is behind. He hasn't. I don't think he started his spring windup yet. He had a little minor injury, so he's not going to be ready for opening day. Luis Castillo. Um, so some red flags there right now. Manaea will eat innings efficiently if he's on. That's, I mean, word lifer. I would be fine with that. I would put Montgomery at number 2 and have Manaea 3. Just have 2 innings eaters behind Garrett Cole. You have a bunch of those innings eaters. I personally would do that. If you can get Montez, obviously you get Montez. He's your front line number 2. You plug him there, but Manaea will be fine. He's not a bad consolation price, so not bad at all. Praz will be saying, yeah, he's probably going to play, full time, and even Oswaldo Cabrera, Juan, and those guys are going to be, playing full time in AAA, just so they can get regular reps and be ready for the majors when they get called up. So, but yeah, pitching, yes, exactly, Chris Schmidt, hola, what's happening? Voigt's comments during the I'm not surprised. He was relieved that to be moved on from, but he also thanked the Yankees for giving him the opportunity when he was kind of toiling around in hell in St. Louis. So the Yankees, he had some good Yankee moments, but it is what it is. He couldn't stay healthy, so that's not it's no reason to throw digs. None. There are some rumors that they're talking about Gardner. I haven't heard anything they're actually bringing him back yet. So. And Laurie C, yes, Florial he's been underwhelming, unfortunately. So he has trouble. He's good in the field, but he has trouble at the plate and batting. So, and it's unfortunate. Ron, water. Here we go, baby. This is my Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre cup. It's for you, Ron. Or for you, Ron. Yeah. Who else? You Montez, you got to get. Yeah, I mean, they have to give up a lot for Montez, but he'd be the guy. He's the guy to get, Udall. He's definitely a guy to get. So Gerald's in the house. Yeah, biting the bullet and pay for Montez. I agree. They haven't given up any good prospects or top prospects this offseason, so now's the time to bite and get that guy here. So would I trade Torres for Manaea? I would trade Torres more likely for Montez. I mean, 1 year of control for Manaea for 3 of Torres. I'm a little hesitant on that one, Tyler. I am. I would trade Torres as part of a bigger package from Montez. But that's me. So, yeah, DJ is not going anywhere. Yeah, he could be Dominic. That's right. Is that right from Boston? Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Ola's in the house. Yes. Manaea struck out 194. Yeah, he had a good solid year. Him and Manaea were both solid. And they really, really were. Manaea's price tag will be less than Montez. Montez is a little bit better, but I would not be upset getting Manaea. Ola's in the house. Yeah, Glaber's okay at second base. Yes, DJ's better defensively, that's for sure. DJ's a better contact hitter. But I am happy to see Torres kind of playing well right now. I hope that continues. And a lot of their starters look pretty good right now. Even like Joey Gallo looks locked in. So that's one of the things that I think they're going to do better at this year. They're going to be striking out less, making better contact, and doing some things to get a little bit better of a balanced offensive attack. So what would it cost to get Reynolds, Volpe, Dominguez, and a bunch of other prospects, Lori? That's why I think they won't do it. The Marlins are loaded up. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I mean, Pablo Lopez would be a fantastic trade possibility for the Yankees, I think. Can I come up with an out-of-box trade for another borderline ace that we probably are not thinking about? Trevor Rogers from the Miami Marlins, even though that's way outside the box because I don't see it happening, but you can get him. You're going to have to give up a lot to get him. Yeah. If you don't mind, guys and gals, hit that like button. I want to try to get it up over 200 as well. We're about like 209 in here right now, but I appreciate it. Probably Trevor Rogers would be a guy, or one of those pitchers like Corbin Burns or from the Brewers. These guys would cost an absolute monster ransom. But yeah, I mean, any package for any of those pitchers would have to start with Dominguez and a bunch of other guys. Same thing for Brian Reynolds. I think Brian Reynolds, they would probably expect Volpe and Dominguez. That's what Oakland expected for Olsen. and Brian Reynolds has got 4 years of control left. So that's a monster. But if you can get him, and give up Dominguez and keep Volpe, I would do that in a heartbeat for Brian Reynolds. In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Pay Judge, no doubt about it, Paul. Scotto. Let me think about a Pesci one. Let me see how I can squeeze it in. Tyler Talbot, thank you very much for the generous dono, man. Montez for Torres, Peraza, Florial, Medina, Gomez. Peraza, Torres, Florial, Medina, Gomez. Yoendris Gomez. That's a big package from the Yankees. I like him. I would ask for one of those Oakland catchers, even if it was Shea Langoliers, who's their number 2 behind Tyler Soderstrom. I think that's a lot for Montez. But I mean, Florial's almost kind of like just a throw-in piece. Yoendris too, probably. So I mean, you headlining with Torres, Peraza, Medina. They're getting a lot. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'd probably say yes to this, but I would ask for one of those catchers back in return. With Montez, Tyler. But nice trade, man. Nice trade. Let me think of it. Let me think of a Tory. Let me give me a Pesci. Excuse me, a Pesci. I appreciate that, PJ. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Appreciate the love, man. And again, Tyler Talbot, thank you as always for the generosity, man. It's much appreciated. Give Hill some time. Yeah, Hill needs a little bit more time. He's young. Let him develop. Let him kind of build up his pitching arsenal as well. He's seems like a strong, durable too. But again, we don't want to abuse guys like that either. So I would love it if Nestor Cortez turned into something like a Julio Urias over the Dodgers, right? And Luis Hill turns into something, big over here with the Yankees. So I really would. So young, dynamic starters in this rotation to complement Garrett Cole be fantastic. Fantastic, man. Overperformance and he fell apart in the second half. Well, that's a good point, Word Lifer. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. It would be. I mean, it's still going to cost a lot for him, but I mean, if you can get Max Meyer, or if you can get like, Pablo Lopez or one of those guys, or Sandy Alcantara, you got to get. If you can get one of those starters from the Marlins, that's a good move. 51-41 Duke, 14 minutes left, Udall. I mean, Duke has a chance. I mean, this is Coach K's last year, so he's going to try and go out on top. I mean, he's got a shot. He's got a shot. So this is getting really interesting. It's getting really interesting. Final Four, I think, is where New Orleans. No. North Carolina's rolling. Hubie Brooks got those boys rolling, man. Is Andujar getting mixed into any of those? My guess, Trent, yes. He would be included in some kind of trade package. I would think so. Yankees are not going to pay a king's ransom. Nah, not for 1 year, Manea. They'll pay more of a ransom for Montez. Montez, yeah. He's got 2 years, and he's got a little bit higher upside. So you still got to pay, decent prospect return for Manea, but it's not going to be a king's ransom. Nor should it be. Nor should it be. Something tells you the Yankees have overhyped Dominguez. Reminds you of Jose Tabata. Oh, I remember him and Miguel Montero. I remember him and Jesus Montero, too. I hope not, Frank. I mean, I hope not, but it could very well happen. Who would it take for Hendricks and Contreras? So Hendricks will be a solid number 2. He's got a ground ball pitcher. He is a ground ball pitcher. And with the revamped defense in the infield, a guy like that fits well, right? So, and Contreras for catcher. I mean, probably you'd have to give up probably a Luis Medina, maybe an Oswald Peraza. You'd have to give up a couple of decent guys, even though I don't know if Hendricks has 2 years left or 1. Contreras obviously has 1, but this would be the more affordable get than Frankie Montez and like Sean Murphy. This would be a more affordable return. So I think it's more doable, Robert Johnson. I really do. So, somebody sent out. Nelson Gonzalez, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate the love and support, man. Thank you very, very much, man. Both you guys, Tyler and Nelson. Thank you, guys. I like Hill and Cortez a lot, but they're still learning. Yes, they are. Thankfully, Hill has 4 years left here. He's not a free agent until 2026, and he's young. He's 26, so hopefully he gets an opportunity. And don't shave that mustache. Don't do it. The mustache is part of the appeal, right? The stash has to stay, at least in my opinion. So, but I would like them both in the rotation too. Some homegrown guys. It's just like Hill. Yeah, I mean, I want some homegrown dudes there. The Yankees trade for. I think is a that's it's. I think it's a very good possibility. Sean Johnson. I really do. And but if they don't, I mean, if you take a look at Higashioka's stats, even going back to the minors, the more he plays, the better he performs. So he does have the ability to hit 20 home runs. If you look at his minor league stats, so he has projected upwards there. So, and again, putting him probably 2/3 of the game and Workvet in 1/3 of the game is probably the way to do it. But it is Workvet is a lefty, Higgy's a righty. So if they didn't trade for a catcher, I'd be fine with it. As a starting pitcher, to me, if they can get Hendricks without Contreras, I would do that, right? I would take that if there's any way they could. And I just don't know if the Cubs are gonna move Hendricks because they brought in Stroman, they brought in other guys, David Robertson, they brought in some, they've been adding this offseason. So I'm not sure if they want to delete like a guy, but their farm sucks. So they can get some prospects back for Hendricks as well. So I could see both sides here. It would be nice to get him though, to add just a reliable guy in the rotation. We need another reliable pitcher. He'll look good. Yes, he has. A lot of guys. I mean, David Garcia looked good. Clark Schmidt looked good. Like a lot of the batters look good. So, I think they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Yeah, St. Peter's, man. What a Cinderella story. My God. What's my gut feeling on Sevy making it back in a big way? I'm not too confident, Dominic. And personally, I would have him as a swingman, doing some long relief, trending or building back up to being a starter. I would not have him be a full-time starter this year. Maybe next year because there's an option for him in 2023 that they can bring him back. But I would not do it this year. I would max him out at maybe 130, 140 innings tops. Give him an opportunity to come and throw darts for 3 or 4 innings at a time instead of expecting him to be a number 2 and throwing him to the Wolves. Dominic, to me would be a better way to kind of transition him back because he's had setbacks already. And his velocity is there right now, but his command is all over the place. And that's kind of the way I would do it. Get 3 or 4 really, really nasty innings out of Severino. It's a good bridge from the starter to the end of the bullpen. And I think he could have his biggest impact there this season. So, but we'll see, Dominic. I mean, what's your gut telling you? Yeah, Hill looks good, man. Hill and yes, big, huge upside, Gerald. Joanna Man's here. That's good. Brian Reynolds is a nice, decent player, but the only players I trade Dominguez for is Acuna Jr. or Soto. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I mean, to me, Brian Reynolds is the finished product of Jason Dominguez. I've said that before, too. And, Acuna, I don't think is going anywhere. Soto, I don't think is going anywhere either. At least not right now for a couple years, maybe. But you never know. It could change. I mean, for Soto, they're going to have to give up almost the whole farm for the whole farm. So it's Juan Soto. Sevy does have command issues, yes. The velocity's there, showing 96, 98. But again, if you can't get guys out, you can't locate the play. It's not going to do anything for you, no matter how hard you throw. Hendricks has 2 years at 14 per with a vesting option for 20. Okay, so he's got 2, potentially 3 years. So that's a guy you trade for, right? Controllable years at a reasonable salary. So to me, yeah. Yeah. If Royals are sellers, Yankees should look at Whit Merrifield, Stalmont, Barlow. Barlow I've mentioned before, Scott Barlow, right? I mentioned him before as an option. Even MJ Melendez, their top catching prospect. He's buried behind Salvador Perez. And Perez just signed like a 5-year extension. So he's not going anywhere. So he'd be another guy, an attractive catching prospect. And I think the Yankees should build a bigger pipeline of catching prospects, man. So that they have layers of guys like the shortstops they do. And now the outfielders. I think catching would solidify that up the middle prospect base, which to me would be huge. Because they're not only, good assets to have here, but they're tradable assets. A lot of teams are always looking for them. The Yankees are looking for them right now. So are the Padres. So they're good to have. And JP Sears too, yeah. Close to MLB ready. Ken Waldichuk's looking good. Sevy, King, Herman, swingman. Well, Herman's hurt, unfortunately, but that's probably what he would be. But right now I have Cortez as a swingman too, and let him gradually build himself back up. Those to me are the 3 long inning guys until they can transition upward. But, which gives them greater protection for the dart throwers at the end of the game, in my opinion. But Medina could come up this year too. Yep, he's almost like another Luis Hill. What if the Yankees pull an Atlanta Braves and don't sign Judge but trade for Juan Soto? Joey Nelly, that would be nuts. But again, if they don't sign Judge, they better trade him, because they're going to need those assets to trade for Juan Soto. You can get a lot back for Juan Soto for Judge, and you need some of that to flip for Soto. That's the way I see it. Gonzalez, and I think so too, Michael. Marwin and yeah. So those two represent like the two best fits to bring up to the Bronx with them. Playoff tested again, good solid players all around, good position to play multiple positions. They're versatile and contact hitters. And Marwin hit a home run. Was it yesterday or the day before? So yeah, Merrifield's great. I mean, he is a really great player. And he is aging, and he's still fast, and he's still one of the faster players in baseball. And he's one of these late bloomers. So, but he's a great player, really great player. Ola, I think going for catcher prospects and developing them in pitching would be. Yeah, I think so too. I really do. Developing just like they're developing the center fielders and the shortstops, and and I've said this again. I think the Yankees should in the first 5, maybe even 7 rounds every year of the draft, bring in a catcher for the next 5 or 7 years in one of the first 7 rounds of the draft. Get a pipeline of top catching prospects and keep drafting them internationally too. So, what about a trade with Arizona for a starting pitcher? Well, who are you thinking of, Chris Schmidt? Unfortunately, Zach Gallen is hurt. He's got a shoulder issue because he was my guy to go after, and so that's unfortunate, which stinks. But who else do they have? And I'm also hearing now that they're working on an extension with Ketel Marte. So they're negotiating an extension right now. So we'll see if that actually happens as well. Clark Schmidt, Miguel Andujar, and a player to be named for Kyle Hendricks and Wilson Contreras. If you could do that, that'd be a pretty big get for the Yankees. Pretty big get. I mean, the Cubs are turning into probably the most realistic trade partner for the Yankees now, based on need and just what it is. But 3 controllable years, or at least 2 for Kyle Hendricks, it's going to hold some value. So they will have to pony up probably a little bit more than that, Victor, just to get Hendricks. And but again, at the end of the day, a reliable number 2 there would be a reasonable return and a necessary one. So, and again, I agree with you, big boy. Montgomery's going to have to be the number 2 until they bring in a number 2. So, and Michael, yeah, the A's are definitely asking for too much, and that's one of the reasons why nobody's trading for these guys right now, because the prices, they got a ransom for Olsen, they got a ransom for Chapman, so they want a ransom for Montez too. So, and we'll say Udall, exactly. He got gassed in the second season, so I think building on that, and again adding, let's just say, whatever it is, you add 20 innings this year to what he did last year, or 25 or whatever, and just kind of gradually build him up to get to the point where he's going to get the rotation. So 7 years straight, 50 per. My God. That's murder. That's a lot of money. Victor Tellecruz, thank you very, very much for the generous super chat, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Victor. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Would I trade Judge and prospects for Soto? Depends on the prospects. But yeah, I would. Yes. But it depends on the prospects. You really do. We don't want Contreras. I mean, at the end of the day, if they don't get a catcher, I'm fine with Warford and Higashioka if they do it right. And but Contreras will be at this point. What do you call it? Another catcher would not be a bad thing. Deep down, are you feeling Oakland? I don't know that it's dead. I don't. Well, I'll put it this way, Dominic. I think a pitcher and Sean Murphy is probably dead. I think it's just going to be a pitcher now from Oakland if they do a pitcher. If they do a trade with Oakland, that's. I think it's just a pitcher. I think it's less likely, Dominic, and maybe a more presentable case for the Chicago Cubs now to get a trade done with the Yankees. That's what I think. I think the Cubs might be surpassing the A's in terms of ideal trade partner with the Yankees, which stinks, but they could still get what they need there too. And what my lineup look like right now. Personally, I lead off kind of Falefa, and then I do DJ second. I do Judge third, Donaldson fourth. Stanton or Judge, or actually Donaldson or Rizzo fourth. Okay, Stanton fifth, and the Judge Donaldson, the other guy sixth, Gallo seventh, Hicks eighth, and the catcher ninth. And that's if Torres is not starting. So it would obviously be a little bit different in there with Torres, with DJ playing super utility. So, but that's kind of what it would look like. I put kind of Falefa and DJ up top, my two contact hitters, and then put the big bats behind them. That's what I do. So, yeah, Wells is probably translating into being the first baseman or something like that, word lifer. So, again, Victor, gracias. Thank you very much. Chicken Palms in the house. Send Torres back to the Cubs. I mean, he could go in a trade for like Contreras and Kyle Hendricks. That is a good point, Chicken Parm. The Yankees offseason, yeah, I'm right around CC -2. I'm right with you there. It's like C/incomplete, because if they bring in a starting pitcher, then I'll probably bump it up to maybe a B or a B- or something like that. But if they get Contreras and Hendricks, solid B. Solid B. Worms are. I'm still working. I'm still thinking of my Joe Pesci. By the way, I haven't forgotten you. Is it possible the two youths, two what? Excuse me, around the two youths. I actually have a shirt, a Joe Pesci shirt coming. The law offices of Vincent LaGuardia Gambini represent Utes, Yutes. So it's coming. And I have another shirt coming too, which I think you'll like, and I'll wear next time. And I have a couple new fun shirts that I'm going to bring in. But is it possible the two Utes? Yeah. Do I have to kill you? What if I was to just to kick the ever-loving shit out of you? Would you pay me the money then? Is it unreasonable to offer up some major league outfield players for some surefire? No. No, not unreasonable at all. No, sir. If we have the depth, why not use it in a trade? So, I got beer. Yes. Worms are Adventure Nerds too. Listen, Buttface, I'm in no mood to deal with an idiot like you, so why don't you sit down before you really make me mad? Remember that one, word lifer? Skolnick against the missing link in jail. Mazza, I'm right with you. I love the way Stanton's been swinging the bat. He looks really, really good. So does Gallo. So I'm really happy right now. 61-48, Duke, 10 minutes left. I think they're going to wind up holding it off and get into the Final Four. Duke. Glaber and Andujar trade values going up. Yeah, little by little. Yes, it is. I mean, they weren't that good to begin with, so going from the bottom up is a good thing, Joseph. And especially they have multiple years of arbitration control, so that's value too. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, Torres just looks like he's got, he's more confident. He's swinging cleaner. He's not going for this guy. Like, he's just swinging more level, not trying to uppercut everything. And he just looks more focused too, which is a good thing. So DJ's going to, I think, rotate. I think he's going to play a little bit of first, a little bit of second, a little bit of third. He'll rotate a bit, but mostly second, I'm guessing. Good defense. Adding more contact will be under. Yeah, I think it will be under. Exactly. Okay, George. Adding more contact, good defense, cutting down on strikeouts, improving base running, right? Plate discipline. It's one of those non-sexy stats that are going to benefit the Yankees. They're going to have a more patient and balanced lineup. And this is some of the things that Dylan Lawson emphasizes, right? Better plate discipline, swinging at good pitches, not swinging at bad ones. And the Yankees were notorious at that. So I think they're going to get better in a lot of different areas. And again, not flashy, but it's going to help them win games. And improving in catcher defense is going to help the starting rotation and the bullpen. They actually have catchers they want to throw to now, so they can feel confident to utilize their full arsenal, right, of all the different pitches instead of being afraid, is everything going to get past this guy? Is he going to stand there and not tag the base runner, like which Sanchez did, unfortunately, last year? Like, I just went right by him. And so I think it's, less pitchers are going to be pulling out their hair this year, which is a good thing. So I think it's going to benefit them in a lot of different ways. Rounders, oh, great movie. Goodfellas too. Oh man, Cole versus Sanchez. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Montez would be great, Nick. I'm telling you, I agree with you, 100%, man. I love kind of Fleffer's attitude. He loves being here, Joey Nelly, and that means something, right? He's proud to be a Yankee. He's proud to hustle and do the things like. And he even said today they're asking what he thinks. I don't care what they call me. As long as they call me world champion, World Series champion. I see I can't laugh at the end of the day before I leave. That's the type of attitude that I love that I think should be here on a lot of players. This guy's already bleeding Yankee blue, and I love that. I love that. And don't sleep on Josh Donaldson too. He's not afraid to light a fire under his teammates' ass if they slack around. So that's another characteristic too. And he's that vocal bulldog on the offensive side. Where to me kind of counterbalances Stanton, who backs up his teammates, but he does it a little bit more quietly. So and we got what do you call it? Garrett Cole on the pitching side, mentoring kids and just being a bulldog on the mound. So we need some of those vocal leaders in their own way, and I think it's great. I really do. Shane Victor, yeah, Shane Victor in the type, yeah. Oh, I missed something here. Marcel, thank you so much, man. Hi, Jason. If the Phillies fall out of contention early in the NL East, would it be available? Zach Wheeler be more appealing for the Yankees instead of pitcher? Maybe. I think probably the more actually, they might want to shed payroll at that point if they fall out of contention, so they might move Wheeler, but they also might move somebody like Aaron Nola, who's on a more affordable deal. Wheeler's on like $100 million deal, and I think he's got 3 years left, so at 20 plus per, I think 22 per. So they might move him. Aaron Nola might be an easier get, but if they fall out of contention, I wouldn't be surprised if they move one of these guys or added somebody to attempt to try to get back. But Wheeler and Nola, I would be looking for, Marcel, my opinion. But dude, thank you very much for the donor. I appreciate the generosity, man. That's a good question. It's a good question. It's a good point. It is a good point. So. Yeah, it's nice to see Marcel. Thank you again, Big Boy. It's nice to see Cole and Josh D chatting it up in the dugout. Looks like they're becoming friends, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. So, yeah, Torres is 25 or 26. He's got 3 years of arbitration, play. So, it's a good time to be Torres right now, especially if he starts playing really well. IKF is a Shane Victor, and he also reminds me of like a Jerry Hairston too, just a solid player, hustle, does a lot of the things and Hairston was a good veteran, his journeyman, and went around different teams, but he played well everywhere he went. And I think kind of Falefa has a little bit of that in him too. And Victorino as well, that hustle and being known for your hustle is not a bad thing, man. It's not a bad thing at all. So I like kind of Falefa here. I do. Bullpen hinge. Oh God, yeah, Andrew. I don't know. I would be looking at Tony Watson right now. He's one of the better left-handed relievers, and he's a free agent. He's available. He's a little bit older, but he's got like a 2.90 or 2.80 ERA over the past 8 or 9 years. That's a guy it might be a good idea for him to consider bringing in. And I really do. And because I do think another reliever will be a good idea, especially with right now, and a good reliever from the left-handed side. Because some of these guys that are coming into these games are just not. It's clear they're not going to make the team, and they're just not doing the Yankees any favors by giving up all these runs and sloppy plays. They're not helping. So Tony Watson, I would look at this point, and or some reliever from some funky trade too. So because he has a tendency to do that too with these secret relievers from the bullpen, Andrew, and from out of nowhere. So. Yankee fan, yeah, grew up Yankee fans. Cool, yeah, dude. Tyler, thank you again, bro. Contreras and Hendricks for Clark Schmidt, Estevan Florian, Alexander Vargas, Leury Torres, Hayden Wesneski. As much as I'd hate to move Hayden Wesneski, that's a fair trade. I'd rather move him than Waldichuk. And if you can get Contreras and Hendricks back, then that's a nice trade, in my opinion, Tyler. That's a realistic trade. And again, it gives a boost to Chicago Cubs farm, which they need, and it gives them a little bit of payroll relief. So I could see it. I could see that. Fills a couple of spots over there for Chicago too. So they need several players. So, but I give him credit. They did a lot of incremental moves this offseason, so I give him credit. Trying to, at the very least, can be competitive in the NL Central. So, Gallo and Donaldson from line 65 from. I could see that easily, Manny. I could see that. Person hoping to get great news on a Judge extension tomorrow. That would be fantastic, Danny J. Danny, I mean, the extension I can see. Captain announcement, I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I did see the Mets are looking at Tony Watson. I saw that. Yeah. He's a gettable reliever, Michael. He's a gettable reliever. You have an idea, Chris Schmidt, how many innings each pitcher in the Yankees rotation possibilities? Well, I see Cole just under 200. I could see Nestor around a buck, probably a $140. I could see Severino if he stays healthy around a $130, $140. Montgomery maybe a $160, maybe a $170. Tyon probably around a $130, $140. Hill probably about 100. Right around there. Michael King probably close to 100 as well, being a swing guy. Nestor, yeah. So I mean, a decent amount of length, but again, we need another like 170, 180 inning guy. We do. That's why Kyle Hendricks at this point, or Frankie Montez would be ideal, or even Sean Manaea. But starting pitching, man, yeah. If he brings in a number 2, I'm a hell of a lot more confident with this team moving forward, especially the latter part of the season. I really am. We need Udall. You hit it right in the spot, man. Mola too. Green, yeah, Green can have a good bounce back here too. I agree with that. Do I see them signing Matt Beatty? He's just, I don't know. That's a good question. Leaning towards probably not, but depends on how things go in the next 2 weeks. It's all right. It's a good question though. I'm gonna look into him a little bit more. I see they're giving away Susan Wallman and John Sterling talking Cobblehead. I did see that, Robert. I know. I did see that. At the end of the day, we didn't sign DJ to be a bench piece. No, I mean, he initially came here to be the super utility guy. So, and again, being a super utility guy, he'll still get 130 games probably, which is not far off from what he plays again. So, the super utility guy will be absolute key. So, yeah, the shortstop experiment was a disaster. Griminator with Torres. That's why DJ took over second, because they did that. But yeah, he originally came here to play multiple positions. So, but again, if they move Torres, and that's a moot point, because then DJ can go to second, and like somebody like Marwin Gonzalez can be the super utility. So, and guys, if you don't mind, if you haven't hit the like yet, can you smack that like button? I want to get it over 200. If that's cool, man. I thank you in advance, guys and gals. Yeah, starting pitching. Starting pitch, man, they definitely need another starting pitcher. That's for sure. Hill should get every shot possible to get in the rotation. Manny Benuelos is another guy's pitching pretty decent, actually. He might have a shot too. At the very least, stuff him in AAA and keep him there so that if the Yankees need reinforcements, he's there. DJ playing 5 games out of 6, 7. Yeah, I think so. Exactly, Hill. I still, no matter what he does, he's going to play 130 games easily, DJ. Easily. And honestly, I'd rather have 130 healthy games, just like I would rather have 130, 140 healthy games out of Judge and Stanton instead of, with regular rest and Gallo too, than trying to push it too hard and having them get hurt and whatnot. Those guys are bigger guys that need regular rest. At least one complete day off per week. I would do personally, but that's just me. Keep the king in the book. Yeah, I mean, he's an ideal reliever, short, long, and a spot start. He's a great swing man, Hirsch. He's definitely good swing. DJ, Barnett, DJ will likely be the swing man. He's better. I mean, he's better at being a swing man than any of the other guys right now. So, how do you stop pine tar above label catches from doctoring Wall for pitchers? That's a great question, Captain. And I have no idea. Tyler, you put out another one? I mentioned yours. Yeah, we talked about this one, Tyler. Yeah, thank you again. That's why I said that this would be the more representative trade. As much as I would hate to, I would, what do you call it? Hayden Wesneski, I would include in the trade instead of Ken Waldichuk. So this is a more representative trade to the Cubs for me, Tyler. So I like that trade, man. I like that trade. And thank you again. Thank you again, bro. Yeah, you put out 2 really good trades tonight. 2 really good ones, man, for Tyler Talbot. So lots of love for Tyler Talbot team, man. ABC, yeah, we don't do no. Thank you, Ola. We don't do no crypto stuff, man. All that craziness. Yankees need to get Kyle Hendricks and Wilson Contreras from the Cubs. Kenneth, man, yeah, that would be a really nice trade before the start of the season. Really, really nice trade. You know, they would fill 2 spots, no doubt about it. The Yankees lose, if they lose Judge, they lose all their political clout. Yeah, Joseph, I hear that. Yeah, but the other problem is, and again, I don't like talking politics, but if for some reason they miss the playoffs by a couple games, he will get heat for not being vaccinated, for them not being able to play games in Toronto. He'll get a lot of heat for that. So, but it is what it is. I'm surprised Cashman hasn't made a movie. He's kind of alluding that they're saying that they're done, but he can't possibly be done. He's even said today, happy what we have to go start the season. But then he said, we're still looking to address our needs. So he's admitting they have needs too. So but again, this is Cashman. Very cryptic, very quiet, and just, not giving people any type of intel. And that's when he generally strikes. So Tyler Talbot, 8/256. 32 per, huh? That's a big one there, Tyler. But you could be right, man. You could be right. Encarnacion trade, Michael. No, I get it. I mean, Encarnacion is a different story, too. It's a DH. He hit some nice home runs here, though. But the Donaldson, this was a bundle package trade. So, and he's known for great defense and, getting shortstop in return. At the end of the day, I think the Donaldson thing will turn out fine. I really do. But getting kind of fluffy and the catcher with him to take that contract had to be done. But I totally get what you're saying about Encarnacion. Why hasn't Judge signed it? It's a great question, Frank. I don't know what the answer is, man. I don't know. I would think they would have offered him an extension already. It'll be interesting to see how it will affect teams and players that can't play in Toronto. Yeah, Ola. Yeah, exactly. It's going to affect, quite a few teams, I'm guessing. But at the end of the day, we're worried about our Yankees. So if it keeps us out of the playoffs by a couple games, it's going to be, more unpleasant conversations, more unpleasant, just banter back and forth and whatnot. So at the end of the day, it is avoidable, but whatever. And any starters right now with the contract that's kind of high that maybe the team wants to unload, the Yankees can pick up and just use money instead of I think any of these pitchers right now, Chris Schmidt, would need to have some kind of prospects, but super highly. I don't know if Patrick Corbin's available from the Nationals. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if he's the right guy here right now. I'm guessing the super high contracts, not that I can think of. Maybe, I think Corbin's probably the only one I can think of, Chris Schmidt. But I don't know if they'll move him. The Nationals are trying to be competitive again, so. But anything's possible. But if you absorb that money, obviously the package of prospects is a little bit lower. Unless you're somebody like Matt Olson or Acuna, one of these studs, or Juan Soto. You got to do both. Do I see them signing? Less than 50%, Jesus. Less than 50% right now. 7 years, 21 per year. I mean, Sean, if they could do that, that's a steal. Aaron Judge. Yeah, exactly, Griminator. DJ's an upgrade at second, so he's just a better overall player. What do I think Judge's contract will be? I think it'll be 7 years, around between 230 and 245 million. I think so. That's probably around what I think it's going to be. Have to trade Hicks. Even Hicks looks healthy and pretty decent too. But yeah, to me, he's not the answer in center field. But apparently, He was on CC's podcast the other day, and he wants to have an FU tour. So he's motivated to play well and prove people wrong. So that's not a bad thing. I just hope if it happens, I hope he stays healthy. Yeah, superstar pitcher would be nice, but I don't see any available right now, Alex. But Kyle Hendricks would be a good fit here. Strasburg would be a huge move, but they're going to have to, absorb some of that contract. That contract's insane. I think he's actually on 7-year, 245 plan, if I'm not mistaken, 35 per. And he's had a lot of injuries this last year, unfortunately. He's got a huge arm, though. Corbin Burns and Yelich for Andujar Torres and a prospect. If that was offered to the Yankees, they would jump on it immediately. The Brewers would never do that trade, I don't think, Yvonne. But I appreciate that. The Yankees are gonna have to add a hell of a lot more than that to get those two guys. But if the Yankees were presented that, I think they would not hesitate for a second to say yes to that. Not 1 second. So, and yes, Hicks doesn't really have much trade value. He's got to build up his trade value. So, it looks like Duke's going to pull it off, huh? No injuries, trade for him. Brian Reynolds would be a huge get here. Huge get. Huge. I'm with you too, George. I think they're going to wind up finishing second or third. No worse than third in the division. So, and yes, and Duke, and thank you for the Duke updates. It's my team, man. What will John Sterling's call for Kyle? Oh, man, I don't know, man. That's a good one. I got to think of that, Michael. Give me a couple minutes. Think of it. Give me a few minutes. IKF. It's a good one. Let me think. Josh Donaldson and IKF. Wade Miley, he signed. I don't know if he signed with the Cubs, maybe, or he signed somewhere. Wade Miley. I don't think he's a free agent anymore. Judge for Trout. I don't think the Angels would do that. I don't, unfortunately. Every year the Yankees seem to never have enough. It happens every year, Dan. They always have 3 to 4 pitchers go down. It's so frustrating, which is more pitching the better. They need that depth, man. Oh, kind of for left line drive, you betcha. I like that. I like it. Oh man. I like it. Kind of got fine. Oh man. I like it. Is he getting busy? Oh, I like that too. WTF? It's IKF again. That'd be mine. Nick Marzullo, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. The boys and I came up with Izzy Falafels. I like that too, man. I like it. You guys put out some good names today. I like it, Nick. Dude, thank you again for that super chat. I appreciate it. John Sterling, Isaiah kind of for life, a home run to the upper decker. I like that too. The Cubs, Wade Miley, yeah, sign with the Cubs. That's right, Dairy Farmer. Isaiah does the hustle. Doing the hustle, man. I like it, Sean. They're talking numbers, I think. Eat it, falafels. Shane Bieber and Jose Ramirez does. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, that would be the ultimate get, right, Raymond? I'm not sure the Guardians are going to move them, even though they have an embarrassingly low payroll. Like, build some guys around these guys, man. Jose Ramirez is a special player. Bring in some dudes. Support these players and give them a chance to compete. Like, otherwise you move them. But like at the end of the day, I mean, you're one of the best players in baseball, Jose Ramirez. Don't leave him hanging. Give him some support on the offensive side. Really. Why did he need a bigger base? I don't know. I don't see the logic in it. They're saying it's going to take less time to get to the base. What, a millionth of a second? Like, I don't get that. I don't see the point. So Isaiah's hungry for that home run while I'm hungry for the fly. Next there. I like it, man. What about Donaldson? McDonaldson. Ooh, I like that, big boy. I like that. McDonaldson. Nice. Oh, man. Got some good ones. Sterling has to do something where he uses aloha. Oh, yeah, yeah. I like it too. This is true. That's a good point, Bronson. Yankees for Donaldson. I would like to see them do same collaboration with the umbrella they did with the Braves. Celebration? Oh God, yeah. That'd be awesome. Big boy score was typo. What is Duke up by 15, not 25? Can change it. No, you can't. You can't contain Sterling. No. He just comes up. He's got a gift. He comes up with it, man. He really does. Captain McKnight. Any time, man. God bless you too. Have a great night, man. I don't think that pitching will be that good this year. Only one is Cole for us. And that's why, yeah, they definitely need a damn another starter. Every time Donaldson hits a home run, you have to eat a Big Mac apple pie. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of Big Macs apple. I'm gonna be like 350 pounds, man. Damn, dude. If he hits a grand slam or a walk off, Big Mac and apple pie, I'll make that compromise. I can't eat that many Big Macs and apple pies. I gotta stay lean. I gotta stay nimble. Like I gotta be able to move around the dojo and everything. So that's my compromise. Hold on. That's all right. Blue Jays replaced their ace with a very good pitcher in Gaussman. Yeah, Gausman. We'll see how he translates over to the American League, but they also added Yusei Kikuchi, so they added depth. But yeah, the Blue Jays upgraded in pitching. They got better in pitching, no doubt about it. Sterling has some wild stuff. Yeah, he definitely does. Kentucky Wildcats. Are they still in it, Dairy Farmer? Wow, I didn't realize Kentucky was still in it. Cashman doesn't blanket the need for starting pitching with a swing in a hands. Right, like he's doing here. Yeah, true, Raymond. No, he's got to. Don't add pitching. I mean, hitting does not solve the pitching problem. Get a pitcher to solve the pitching problem. Bench Gonzalez and Ciarte Rourke. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. And that's a good bench. That's a good bench. Burn Baby Burn was the first. I remember that. That's a good bench, big boy. Nick, thank you again, man. Thank you again for the donor, man. I appreciate you. Always look forward to the stream. I do too, man. I thank you for coming, spending some time with us on Saturday nights and whatnot. We have a great time with you guys. And thank you again, all of you, for the donuts, man. Very generous. I appreciate you. Hip, hip, Jorge. Yeah. Text message, right, from Teixeira. Logan Gilbert. Yankees should trade for Logan Gilbert from the Mariners. I have to look into him. I don't remember enough about Logan Gilbert. Donaldson should be the dugout umbrella home run celebration. Embrace the parrot would incarnate. Yeah, this is true, Michael Shin. This is true. An A-bomb from A-Rod. That's right. Dairy Farm. We talk about the Kentucky program is in trouble. Is Calipari still there? Edwin Encarnacion was great. Stanton Island. I like that. Up by 11, 1 minute to go. Yeah, I think that's almost a lock for Duke. Unless somebody pulls a Reggie Miller and scores 8 points in like 5 seconds. I'm not sure Cashman's done, Manny, but he could be. He could be. They definitely Jambino. He definitely could use another starting pitcher. Giancarlo no seen born Parlo. Yeah, I remember that. It's ridiculous. Duke up 9 with 30 to go. They're gonna make the Final Four, man. An A-bomb from A-Rod. Yeah, that is a good one. Do we flip the kid we got in the point? Very possible, Andrew. Very, very possible. He could go for like a Montaz or somebody else. Yes, he could definitely go. He's got a big arm too, but we'll see. I mean, he's one of these guys that Matt Blake can probably turn into somebody good in the bullpen. Reggie Miller's definitely a Knicks killer. Robbie Cano, who wouldn't know. Bringer of rain. Yeah. Josh Donaldson. Duke wins. All right. Coach K is in another Final Four. 2 players 7 years ago were 2 games away from the World Series, and now have been on the Yankees. Who are you talking about, Michael? Louisville fan? Yeah. Yeah, Miley was claimed off waivers. That's right. Reggie fouled the hell out of. Oh yeah, I mean that back in the day was just it was brutal basketball, like the Jordan era, Joe Dumars, like those guys like that, the Pistons, Bill Laimbeer. There's a lot of dirty, rough basketball. So much more violent than today's game. You touch somebody in the finger, it's a foul now. Back then, it was like UFC combined with basketball. They were beating the shit out of each other. Excuse my French, but it was true. Torres, Davey Garcia, and Andujar to Atlanta for Ian Anderson and Max Lorenzo. I mean, that's I would do that. I don't know if the Braves would ever do that, but I certainly would. I definitely would. D-back struggling with anyone take on Bumgarner. If they eat some of it, they got to eat some of it. Start with Bowers. His administrative leave has been pushed back to at least April 15th, Robert Kelly, right now. So at the end of the day, MLB is just looking to make an example of him, probably suspend. They could suspend him for the whole entire season, even though he's been cleared criminally of everything. But this is Major League Baseball. So if he gets released by the Dodgers, then he might be, he'll get scooped up pretty quickly, I think. Logan Gilbert and Aaron Nola have great stuff. And you can't get Sean and I or Frankie Monty. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Donaldson and Encarnacion made it to Game 6 against the Royals. Yes, yeah. It's a good point, Michael Shin. That's right. Duke wins Final Four. Wow. And Coach K is definitely going out in style, that's for sure. Xavier McDaniel. Oh, I remember him, man. Yeah. Memphis is the team. Yeah. Michael Mazin, thank you as always for coming on, brother. Always love having you on, man. No doubt about it. Have a great night. Same thing. Bless you and your family. I'll wrap it up in a little bit, too, so we can all get to relax a little bit and go hang out with our loved ones and do whatever. And Bernard King was in. Yeah, Bernard King. Yeah. No doubt about it. Nick's GOAT, no doubt. Hirsch. 100%. The ball is high. It is long. It is gone. That is a good one. That's Sterling, yeah. Yeah. So this game today was a great fun experience. Vlad threw out a toss, and I caught it. First baseline. Ah, cool. Very cool, Epic. Very, very cool. Ewing, to me, was a tad bit behind Bernard King, but, that's their 1-2 for the next, no doubt about it. Yep, Cashman. Cashman's in his walk year, so he's got to do something good. Great. I should say great, but I wouldn't even know who they would replace him with. Is my other question. Duke UNC final matchup prediction. That would be phenomenal. Aloha from the King Island for left. Oh, I like that too. Al, I like it. As a free agent, I would have to die. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah. No doubt. When does free agency end? It doesn't necessarily end. I mean, people can sign free agency all throughout the season. So, Joseph, I mean, it's an ongoing thing. As long as they're free agents to sign, they're free agents to sign. So, Robert Kelly, have a great night, man. Cashman protect the prospect a lot. Tell me a big prospect is in the Yankees. I would, right now, from the last 5 years, Aaron Judge, Jordan Montgomery, and to a lesser degree, Luis Severino, but he's hurt, unfortunately. So, the Judge is the big one. Yeah, Theo, I mean, I would love him. I just don't know he would. He's an MLB executive. I just don't know he would do a backward move to come down and be he would have to be like GM and president of operations or something like that of the Yankees, and they would have to not interfere at all with his work. Vegeta would be another good fit. Do it all exactly. Cashman trying to stick it to the Yankees. If he doesn't come back, he'll get scooped up from another team really quickly. He will. So the Yankees are a fantastic organization now. There's a deep drive to the field to back Johnson. That will make it a 4, not the longer. I love it. I love it, Michael. Love it. Joseph, man, thank you. Pleasure, man. 90s Knicks, no doubt. Jim Bannon looks like the head coach from Miami. Theo wants an ownership stake. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Hirsch, I would not blame him. Roger, I think they're going to be in the 90s, 90 plus win range. That's my opinion. But I know some people who think 85 as well. Jeter would be fantastic. Judge was never top 3 prospect. I don't remember. He was up there, but like Davey and Clark Schmidt a couple years ago were number 1 and number 2, and they just unfortunately didn't pan out. Now they're, one of them is in the top 20, the other one's in the top like 11 or something like that. It's crazy how they just rotate and stuff like that. But Judge was up there. I just don't know. I don't remember how high he was. Udall, always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. Fine, buddy. Do I think they're going to extend Judge by the end of the year if he stays healthy? They have to do it before that. They got to, I think, do it before the end of the season. Epic. And before the beginning of the season, end of the spring. So it's got to happen. He already set the deadline for before opening day. Now, if that's the case, then they're going to lose out all their leverage if they don't sign him before the season starts. So. Yeah, I do remember that Udall. He was not enamored with Jeter's fielding. Jeter was very underrated, but he's one of the best shortstops in the history of baseball. So Torres has looked fantastic. There's a good chance, Roger, that Judge can walk. If they lowball him with an extension offer, which I think they'd be really stupid to do, then he could walk. But if they lowball him, he says no, then it gives them reason to trade him too. So there's that as well. Team yoga or something. Yeah, Luden, exactly. Jeter even went to arbitration for. Yeah, exactly. Jeter signed his extension at 27, I think it was. Joseph, exactly. He went through all the years, pre-arb and arb. Jeter is a great executive, though. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He really resurrected that franchise. Took him a few years, but it resurrected the franchise. The Yankees were serious and ended up Harper. They would have a more affordable AV player in right field. Yeah, exactly, Roman, exactly. And Harper signed to 26, right? He got to 25 per year or something like that. I mean, he'll be here. He'll be there until he's 39. But you're going to get a lot of his prime years. He already won an MVP. I could see him winning a couple more too. He's to me, he's better than Judge, Harper. So, and. I think everybody knows, Janyan, that Hal's not George. I think everybody knows. It's obvious. It's definitely obvious. So, Judge is the face of the franchise. So, they could part with him, Dan. It depends on how good this offer is, the extension offer. That's all riding on that, which is supposed to be here, in short time. So, we'll see. We'll see. Cashman has feelings he's not liked. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Totally get that too, absolutely. I mean, George would have, he would have been wild, a wild man this offseason. There's no doubt about that, George Steinbrenner, if he was still around. Theo is a Hall of Fame. Yes, he is. He's a Hall of Fame executive, GM, and the works. And the works. And he turned Boston into gold. He turned Chicago into gold. So, what will my lineup look like right now? Man, somebody asked me this earlier. IKF leading off, DJ batting second, Judge third, Rizzo fourth, Stanton fifth, Donaldson sixth, Gallo seventh, Hicks eighth, catcher ninth. But if that changes a little bit if Torres plays. So. Caleb, you're welcome. I'm glad you liked it. It's right. It's like I'm telling you, people think I'm nuts for trying. And when they try, it's like, man, this isn't really good. It's underrated. 9 to 10 plus 300 plus. The GOAT, he could very well do it, and I could see a team giving it to him. I don't think it'd be wise for the Yankees to be the team to do it, but I could see a team giving him 9 or 10 just to get him, to make sure that they get him, knowing damn well that the last couple of years are probably going to be ugly. So, Stanton was Hal's excuse. Yeah, I mean, I just don't remember whether Stanton came after Harper already signed with the Phillies. I don't remember the order. No, but yeah, Tyler, exactly. And he did get a huge discount for Stanton, and Stanton's paid off, but so is Harper. Billy Bean. Yeah, I would wonder what kind of, how would Billy Bean run things over here. I'd be curious. Beef up the bottom of the lineup. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, big boy. I mean, that's personally why I have Gallo at 7th to give him some pump, give him some muscle down there. Projection win 95. Yeah, I could see them winning 95 games. I could. Now, obviously, that's the optimist in me, but I think it's possible. Judge to San Francisco could very well happen too. They're one of the other teams that could probably pay what it would cost to get him and prospects to in a trade. Stanton less valuable. I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point. Harper's in the National League, so Stanton's been money with the Yankees, especially in the postseason. So, which Harper has not been to really much with the Phillies. So, but both of them are fantastic. I think the Yankees would be nuts to give him 300 for 10, but they could very well do that. Harper's an elite fielder, yeah. He's an elite fielder. Both of them are superstars, so. Yankees are definitely rebuilding with the young prospects. They haven't given young prospects an opportunity in a long time, and now that they've built a pipeline of them, they're going to try to infuse some of these kids and get them up here. He might be, Tyler, and that's a good point. He might be better with more money to spend, more flexibility. So, and he could very well do that. He was always asking for more money from Oakland and not getting it. So, division going to be really just the AL East and the NL East are going to be just really tough, really tough. Schlemiel and Schlemiel. It's a good one. Well, we're almost at 200 likes. I would love to get over 200. We'll see if we get there. I'll probably wrap it up at 200 likes. So I'm going to go back and watch The Fugitive with my wife. Toby, I think the next one is going to be either a move with the Cubs, a trade for a pitcher or a catcher, or both, or trade for one of those Oakland pitchers. More likely Minea, but I'm hoping for Montez. That's my guess. Something with Oakland or Chicago Cubs, but I would also be trying to sign Tony Watson too. Now the Mets are in on him as well, but Watson would be a nice addition to the bullpen. He really would. Peraza will be. I like Peraza, man. Peraza, I think, is going to be a good one here. I don't think Otani leaves the Angels, Michael. Probably not. My opinion on the current state of the team, Anthony's there better than they were last year, but so is a lot of the league as well. So I don't know how much forward progress they've made, but they still need another starting pitcher. But they're better defensively, better offensively, and but there's still a hole in the pitching rotation that needs to absolutely be filled. So the Yankees' pipeline for catching has to get better. Yes, Dominic, 100,000%. I mean, 100,000, like, most definitely. Comedy hour over here. Yeah, exactly. Tyler, Giants, Dodgers, and Padres would be the top options for Judge of a trade. Yeah, or Seattle. I wouldn't sleep on Seattle because they have the prospects to get it done, and they're the desire to do it. They want to compete, and they're willing. They've already made a big trade for Winker and Eugenio Suarez, and I could see them doing another move like that, which would solidify them as favorites in the AL West. To me, in my opinion, if they brought in Judge. So, but yeah, Giants, Dodgers, Padres, NL West teams. Pretty much all AL West and NL West teams. I could see him going to the West Coast at the end of the day if he got traded. And those teams can definitely afford to pay him and give up prospects. So replacing Boone, it's irrelevant right now. He's got 3 more years, so it's not happening. Unless he gets fired, which I don't see happening. 7 years, 260 for Dan. Probably it's a very realistic number. Very realistic number. Most likely trade locations: Pirates, Reds, Marlins, Cubs. I mean, they can get something for Pirates. The Reds, I mean, I was hoping for Amir Garrett, but he got traded to the Royals, man. I couldn't believe that. Marlins are for one of their pitchers, and Cubs, yeah. Mike Trout's the one that got. Yes, he is. Winfield for manager would be nice. Unfortunately, I think we're stuck with what we have for the next 3 years. So Jorge to coach New York Yankees cashing prospects. That would be fantastic. It would be. It would be. So Tony wanted to be with Trout. I'm surprised Suzuki didn't join them. Say that would have been crazy over there. I thought Suzuki or like Trevor Story was going to go to the Angels, but yeah, well, that's a hell of a pair. And Rendon's healthy now too, so I think going to be good. Yankees are not getting Adley Rutschman, so everybody knows that there's no way they're getting Adley Rutschman. The Orioles are not going to give him up. No, that ain't happening. The Judge wants like 9 years in the Yankees. Well, you might be right, Goat. I hope not, but you might be right. Nev should have given Boone an extension. He's a yeah. I agree, Udall. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about that now. So, unfortunately, I just hope that he kind of evolves as a manager, like Girardi did when he was here. Continues to evolve and get better, and immerses himself into some other things. So, but the Yankees, Orioles are not going to take Judge. Now you're getting silly, dude. Right? They're not going to take Judge. They're not going to pay Judge. And there's no way. Judge is not enough for Adley Rutschman. The Yankees are going to have to give more than Judge for Adley Rutschman. Okay. Mike Harley, ex-pitcher, needs Cincinnati pitching. See, I would love Mike Harkey. Yeah, I would love to have CC as part of the pitching staff. George would have done a lot of stuff already. They would have had some crazy offseason, even bigger than Steve Cohen from the Mets. Yeah, Nicholas Allen. They got, Gleyber Torres, Aaron Hicks, Peraza, 4th and 6th best prospect. Austin was in Waldichuk to the Chicago Cubs. Hendrick, Ian Happ, and Wilson. That's a pretty deep trade. It's possible. I just don't know where they would do it. Ian Happ. They don't need Happ. So, but I would pare down the trade a little bit and get Waldichuk out of there. If I could, Nicholas. But yeah, at the end of the day, they don't really need Happ. But that is to me, a pretty fair representative overall trade, Nicholas. So, well done, man. That's a good one. Angels are missing a pitcher. Yeah. Angels do need a pitcher. Yes. No doubt. Angels. A-Rod to manage Yanks. Yeah, I doubt. That would be crazy, Dan, wouldn't it? Oh, you got 4 likes to 200. We're almost there. Cool. Skipper. Man, I don't really know anybody. I mean, I'm going to have like Lou Piniella or something like that, but it is. I mean, Yankees could use a good speed. So yeah, they added speed in kind of Falefa, but they do need some. Well, we're over 200. Thank you, guys. They do need some more speed. They got rid of a lot of it this offseason, so that's right. Chris Schmidt having a great night. Have a great night. Am I doing a live podcast during the week? I probably will on Wednesday, or I think I might go live towards the end of one of the spring training games. I'll be doing that more often during the regular season, going live maybe the last inning or so of the game, and then just kind of tailing on and just going right into the live stream, but so they could at least watch the end of a game together, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, I'll probably hit something on Wednesday night. So I'll obviously, I'll put it up so you know when it's coming. So, but somebody just put out a super big time dono. Trent Messick, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Very, very generous donor, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you very, very much. It's much appreciated. Your support means a lot, man. Thank you. Could Rachel Balkovic one day be the manager? Yeah, I mean, she could be. She could be. Yeah, I mean, she just got hit in the face the other day, the eye, but a batted ball, like a line drive or something. So she's recovering. But I think she's going to do a good job. She has a really good head on her shoulders, and she knows her baseball, man. I mean, it's she would definitely be a groundbreaker, the first female manager in the major leagues. Being my guess at that point. And what better team to do it than the Yankees to be the Trailblazers? So um, she could. I mean, she's good at her stuff. She's good at her job. Really smart and well qualified. Would Girardi ever let Glaber play a video game for it? Probably not, Ludin. That's a good point. Gardner as a base running coach would be nice too. He's a great base runner. Trent, thank you again, Trent Messing. I really appreciate it, man. You're the man, bro. We'll be wrapping up in a few minutes just so that we can all go enjoy the rest of Saturday night. Wilson Ramos is available. Yeah, he is. He is. Dominic Davis, no doubt, man. 100%, bro. 161, always, man. 161 Mafia, always, man. I appreciate you, Dominic. Thank you, man. Have a great weekend, man. I want to do is throw a tomato at Boone from. I think a lot of people do. And I do think Gardy is done too, Jinian. Yeah, Udall. She's badass. She is badass. So she definitely is. Talbot, Michael Conforto, Brett Gardner, Johnny Cueto, Tony Watson, and Clay Holmes. Gardner, baby. Conforto, I'm surprised he hasn't been scooped up yet. Gardy to Philadelphia could happen. Gardy to Pujols might be. I don't know. I'm not. The jury's still up for Pujols. Colorado might add him just to boost their. Even though we already added some guys, Brian, a couple other guys, like in the trade they just made for Randall Grichuk, and they could do something like that. And they could add a Pujols just to try and see if he gets to 700. So, but he could retire, and he's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer one way or another anyway. So, Hawaii with hustle, man. I like it, Sean. Damn right, Hawaii with hustle. Pujols will Cardinals will retire with Yachty. Yeah, I could see that too, because this is Yachty's kind of farewell tour, and they could do it together and go out in style. But yeah, to me, Pujols is a shell of his former self too. So, prediction for the San Francisco Giants. I think the Giants come in second instead of first this year, but I think they go deeper into the playoffs. I think they probably go to NLCS. I like the Rodon edition, Robert, and I don't think they win 107 games. I could see them getting close to 100, but I could see the. I don't know if it's going to be the Dodgers or the Padres to take the division, but the Dodgers still, I think, need to make it. I think the Dodgers hinges on what happens to Trevor Bauer. The Padres are loaded again, and but I do see the Giants having a little bit of a better run in the postseason than they had last year. So, and deservedly so. They're a good team, and I like their additions, especially Rodon. That's kind of my prediction right now, Robert. Giants. They're a fun team to watch too. I like to watch them. Enjoy the rest of the night and take care. Toby, you do the same, Toby. Thank you so very much. Rachel goes full on Aaron Boone with the umpires in the first ejection in the minors. She might. I want to see her arguing. I want to see what it looks like for her to tear somebody's ass up with an argument. Be kind of cool. This is why I'm not a fan of robot umps, because they're not going to argue with robot umps. So let's keep them out of the major leagues, please. Freeland. You're talking about Kyle Freeland from the Rockies, Jesus? Is that what you're talking about? Rick Cerrone retired. I met him when I was younger. He's a good dude. Yes, it's a bargain for San Francisco. Yeah. If the Jays got Jose Ramirez, yeah, that's going to spell doomsday for a lot of teams. Yeah. 90 plus for the Yankees. Yes, I agree. A lot of bounce backs. Anytime, Robert. I could see some significant bounce back years for quite a few Yankees. So, but again, they got to be, more disciplined, steal bases, run the bases better, contact hitting, not just go for Bronx Bomber stuff all the time. They need to run the full gamut of balanced offensive attack, in my opinion. So, and I think they can do that. Yeah, Kyle Freeland, he could be he could be a nice get, but again, I would rather get German Marquez over Freeland. But 95 wins is a nice number, Tyler. I like that number. So, yeah, exactly, Ryan. They have to be more aggressive on the base paths, and this is one of the things. This is why guys like Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza, these guys are super aggressive base runners. So is IKF. So, and then with that Dylan Lawson, coming in here, they're going to be attacking more often. So, I think it's going to be more balanced offensive attack across the board. And again, steal bases puts you in a better position to score more runs. So, and the Yankees could do to score more runs. And that was my problem. This is my one concern. I said it earlier is that the Yankees could score 9 but give up 10, right? Score 8 and give up 9, which is why adding another starting pitcher is so important right now to kind of keep the score down and keep them in a better position to win more often. So, but yeah, exactly, Runs. And the Yankees need to go consistently deep into the playoffs for the next decade and win a few World Series. Oh God, yeah, yes. John O'Lee, Mitch Keller, and Brian Reynolds would be a dream trade for me. It would cost a king's ransom, but it would be a dream trade for me. Pitcher and the center fielder? Yes, sir. Jared Dyson to him, maybe, but they have Incerante. They have some other guys too. So, but it can't hurt if it's a minor league deal. Do I prefer a high scoring game? Personally, high scoring game, but I like a no hitter that's like 1-0 or something like that. If it's going to be or like a Garrett Cole versus a Max Scherzer or Jacob deGrom, a 1-0, I wouldn't be able to keep my eyes off the game. That's a game right there, especially a 1-0 like perfect game. I know those are stressful as all hell, but so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. But yeah, pitching. Gary Sanchez, yeah, he could. He's a free agent next year. He could. Who decides if players get called up, manager or owner? I think it's a combination of GM, manager. It depends on what the team needs as well. So I think it's a combination of the two. But manager does not get full, or he's not the only one who makes that decision. It comes up and down the chain. Brett Anderson. I mean, there's some decent guys there, but none of them will address the Yankees' need for a starting pitcher right now. That has to come in a trade. So, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up as well. Sanchez he was defensively very vulnerable behind the plate. So, oh God, Ellsbury. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Have a great night. And thank you so much for everybody that sent out a dono too. I appreciate you all. Go enjoy your night, relax, and we watch some Yankees tomorrow. Garrett Cole's on the hill tomorrow for the first time this spring against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So have a wonderful night. I'll probably do a recap video tomorrow after the game. So peace and love, guys. Talk to you next time.